Hey, what's up, traders? To watch this video here for Wednesday, April 22nd, you can see the SPY kind of starting to roll over. Does that mean much? Who knows, right? Are we headed back down to lows? People seem scared because of the price of oil and everything. I just take it on a day-by-day basis. To be honest with you, I'm terrible at predicting the overall direction of the entire market. I much prefer to trade individual stocks, and that's why I do what I do. And that's also why I'm in cash every night, because the overall market doesn't affect me that way. Real quick before I start the video, I'm going to start off with some advice, mostly for men here. Do not use a 4300 PSI power washer with the red nozzle to remove a mud dauber from the side of your house. All right. I mean, unless your wife has a sense of humor, and mine most certainly does not. So a little free tip there. All right. So let's go into the video. VXRT, I'm gonna keep my eyes on that. Very high volume today, came up and kind of retested recent highs, closing well off highs. And it's worth noting 60 million shares traded today. So generally when they get crowded like that, they're not great intraday traders. CLVS had this nice pop yesterday and quiet inside day today. I'd love to see maybe a 2-day high break or something, but we'll see if we get any kind of low risk setup there. TROX had this big volume spike inside day, then a gap down, but a fairly strong close. So this right here, the last few days is forming a pretty bullish pattern. I want to keep my eyes on that one. NNVC had a nice pop today, which to me was a little weird because the news was, hey, tomorrow we're going to provide an update on recent whatever we're doing, right? And for whatever reason, it held up well. I told people in chat, if you weren't there today, sometimes what seems like lame news can actually move a stock pretty well. And my theory is because shorts start to pile in when they see the lame headline, and then it keeps climbing and they say, crap, I got to cover. And so then they provide more upside fuel, and then starts to roll over, and then they pile in again saying, now reality's setting in. And then next thing you know, crap, I got to cover. And sometimes that happens. And it's either that or they have amazing news about COVID-19 and the news leaked. We'll see. I think it's tomorrow after hours, though, but don't quote me on that. Anyway, with this kind of action and that strong close, I am going to watch that for sure tomorrow. All right. SAEX, potential gapper tomorrow. Nothing interesting about this chart whatsoever. And I'll tell you what, I got a couple oil and gas plays on the watch list anyway. I don't know if there was after hours oil news, but this SAEX trading around $2 in after hours. So potential gap play tomorrow. I'll show you 2 other gap plays, and then I'll talk about a couple oil plays I have on watch. MYOV, there's the daily, not that interesting, but it's up at 1260 in after hours, so up over today's high. We'll see if that gap holds in the pre-market tomorrow, but probably some after hours news there. And then lastly, for the gappers, IMUX, trading at 1340 in after hours. So definitely want to keep our eyes on that one. And I think that was the one. Let me check real quick here. Yeah, pretty small float, 10 million in the float. And let's see the headline, selective oral inhibitor, preclinical activity against SARS and COVID. So, anytime you get COVID in the headline, becomes interesting. So that one we're definitely going to watch, potential gapper. RVP, nothing too compelling. I had this on bounce watch today, and there was no volume. I didn't take any trades in it, but you do have this massive move, 2 red days and already a green day. So maybe over today's high, this continues the rally tomorrow. Don't love that one. PSTI, kind of far away from the moving averages, but this one's been really strong. And the interesting thing about this one is yesterday hit 956, today's high 947. So if you get over today's high, or basically through 950, you've got kind of a 3-day high break, and maybe the rally continues. ICD, this is one of the oil and gas plays I told you about that actually the chart's kind of interesting. Nice call in chat today by Mo through 7. Whole number inflection point. You can see how thin it was. Anytime you have gaps between intraday candles, you can tell it's thin, but Mo called this through 7. It broke 7 and ended up going all the way to 770. And that's an oil and gas play. We do have the huge 2-day move, came down right into that buy zone between the 8 and the 20 and put in a solid green day. So I'm going to look for follow through of today's bounce tomorrow. And one more oil and gas play, SBOW. Strong day for this stock. Now this big volume spike still barely over 500,000 shares to tell you how kind of thin this one is. I think this one's a fairly, for an oil and gas play, at least FinViz says only 10 million in the float too. So I like the looks of this one. Maybe if these baby oil and gas plays get going tomorrow, which I'm kind of seeing a theme, this is another one to watch. All right, we'll add gappers to this list in the pre-market, and between the gap play list and this list, we should have plenty to trade. I'm Doug Babin. We'll see you in chat in the morning.